feel like at this point, everyone already knows that change is the only true constant in life. And if you don't know that yet, you will probably find out in some way soon enough. But this can be a good thing for us despite our inability to see it at times. It's really easy to fall into a routine and think that things will just always be this way. I think the first time that I ever had to deal with an overwhelming amount of change was when I decided to take on a healthcare role as a physical therapist assistant in the military. This way of life was so different than my life before this. I had way more restrictions, rules, and constraints to follow compared to when I was just in college and growing up at home. But after 10 years, it started to feel like a new normal. It was just like any other day, any other job. I think up until this point, I thought I was just going to continue the same routine forever, but then COVID happened. This was a time where there were a lot of constant challenges and changes thrown to everybody, no matter where you were. Being in the medical community, we felt this in a way that is hard to explain. There were constant changes about precautions, who could be seen, who couldn't be seen. It was all just one giant mess. COVID just felt like this huge tidal wave that nobody was prepared for and nobody took seriously. Being in the military during the COVID-19 response was incredibly stressful. We had to respond to 2 different deployments. The first deployment was for 3 months in Missouri, where we gave shots in St. Louis. And the second deployment wasn't really COVID related, but it was the evacuation of Afghanistan. We were assisting the refugees coming from overseas up in New Jersey, where we would be vaccinating and giving shots. It was unprecedented in modern times, and it was a horrible tragedy. But in a way, it was also a beautiful opportunity. Although it was incredibly isolating being in lockdown, it was an opportunity in disguise that gave me a lot of time to explore creative endeavors. I played more music, I created more art, and I explored new unknown topics that I've never even thought about reading about before. I started to redirect my focus on the things in life that were more important to me. One of my biggest realizations out of all this is I wanted to have more time to dedicate to myself and to embrace my own creativity and allow myself to explore. I think it was an opportunity in disguise for me and a lot of other people. It gave me a time to reflect and reevaluate about a lot of things in life. For the first time in a long time, I learned to embrace the present and focus on what I was able to control. I was able to feel a sense of empowerment through my artistic and creative endeavors, especially during a time of intense chaos and the unknown. But the most important thing that I found is that if you want to experience self-growth, you have to be the one to step out into the void and take that first step into the unknown. A lot of people call this gray area the twilight zone, or the area where the known meets the unknown. This is a zone of discomfort, but it's up to you to take that first step. This first step is very much like taking a rock and throwing it into a calm pond. It's a small action that can ripple outwards and affect your whole life. This can be as simple as talking to a stranger that you've never met before, or maybe going somewhere that you've never been to. The more that I see my life as an opportunity for experimentation, the more opportunities just come to me. Despite all the challenges and difficulties that you've been through so far, you are more powerful than you've ever imagined to be. And you've made it this far. What's stopping you now?